Alrighty, today I'm going to teach you guys how to do a great about me and goal sharing page, both virtually and in person. So first things first, I would highly recommend having an about me page, and the about me page should be something like this. So this is my original about me page from when I was doing demos way back in the 1949s, 2016. And what I have here, I have just some photos. Thanks, Maya. I've got some photos of people and things that I cared about and care about at the time. Of course, when I do talk about myself after I build a rapport with the customer, then I go ahead and say, do you mind if I tell you about me a little bit? And they're like, yeah, of course, we totally don't mind. And I say, there's a picture of my my mom and dad. My mom's an artist. My dad's a general contractor. And I tell them like how, they've really done everything for me. I share a lot of gratitude. So I would take some notes here. I'd say, share a lot of gratitude for your parents. And just really thank them for what they've done to help you get to where you are today. What I started to notice is as I shared more gratitude for my family and my parents, like what happened was they would start to ask their kids to like come watch the presentation. And they're like, oh my gosh, like, hey, like come downstairs, no more video games. Like you got to watch Jacob do this presentation. And it made me feel really influential at the time because I knew that I was making an impact not only on the customer, but also that entire family dynamic. And I was giving those kids an opportunity to understand what it means to like show gratitude for parents and like why that was so important. So I spoke on this photo for about 2-3 minutes, talking about like how my dad would like work long hours and I didn't see him much. And my mom, she always was home whenever she could be to be able to raise us in the best way possible. And she drove us to swim practice in the mornings. We had 2 swim practices a day over the summer. 5:45 in the morning, she'd wake us up at 5 a.m., drive us to practice, stay at practice, take us home, make food, make lunch, then drive us to second practice. And she was a really big part of my life. And I really want to be able to do well in this job so I can pay for school so she doesn't have to work. And then also I want to be able to retire my parents. I want to be able to buy them a restaurant. And I talk about that for a little bit. Talk about some of my friends from high school. And I just go ahead and go into detail about like why they were important to me in my life at the time. I talk about swimming and how that was such a big, my mom is super mom. Our mom, sorry. There's a photo of me when I broke a school record for swimming. And this was a record that was up there for about 35-40 years. So I talked about like each of my teammates and what the relay was, how long I've been swimming, why swimming was such a big part of my life. Did it for 10 years. Talk about the day I got accepted to the U of I. And here's I had a U of I shirt on, got my acceptance. When I declared my major for molecular biology, talk about what I want to do in the future and talk about how this job relates to that. I like connect this job to everything because then they're like, oh wow, like Jacob being here really does matter. Talk about Patty, my girlfriend at the time. We were dating for about a year. Now it's almost 7. So it's really cool to just, see this photo and just look back on all those memes and just talk about how, she's my rock and, helps me, supports me through everything. And her and I started dating before I started working for Cutco. So she's seen me grow and develop all throughout the past, almost 7 years now, which is really cool because, she's seen me before Cutco BC and also during Cutco as well. And it's mainly photos. That's what I want you guys to notice. Family, friends, passions. I talk about how I'm a big car guy. I love working on my car. Here's my first car. And then I sold that one. And then here's my second car. I got to get a picture of the Tesla there now. But I love to do fun stuff, creative stuff to my car that just like, kind of is a part of my identity in that case. And then I go ahead and talk about my goals. And I say, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, do you guys mind if I share some of my goals with you? And then they say, yeah, sure. And I say, are you sure you don't mind? I asked a second time. I would write that down. Ask twice if you could share your goals. Now, the reason why you want to ask twice is because the first time they say yes just to be nice. They say yes just to be polite. But guys, what I've noticed is that when you ask twice, then they're like, oh, yes, we really want to hear about your goals. We really want to hear about what you're doing. And then they're like focused and they're paying attention. And some of the reasons some of the reasons why that I had at the time, they're pretty similar over the course of my career when I was selling. But I'll go into a little bit of detail, like how I created this, and then how effective this was in sales, how effective this was with recs, how effective this was with essentially everything. So notice here that I have a gold thermometer. It says All-American for the All-American Scholarship. This was for SC2 specifically in 2017. I have a thermometer for appointments, sales, and referrals. At the bottom, this was a 17-day SC2 contest. So at the bottom, what I had was I wanted to complete 80 appointments because I knew that with my averages, when I completed 80 appointments, I would sell 20K. And when I did 80 appointments, I knew that I would get 500 referrals because with my averages at the time, that's what it was. And I talk about how there's different ways that I can that you can support me in this All-American Scholarship contest. Ms. Jones, one of the easiest ways to support me is by buying $2,000 or $3,000 worth of Cutco and take care and buy 2 or 3 sets and take care of all that today. And I say, I'm just kidding. That would be cool, but I don't need you to or expect you to if you don't, because regardless if you get anything today or not, I am going to hit this goal. But I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I'm not a little scared. I show some vulnerability. I let them know that this is the biggest goal that I've ever set for myself. I let them know that I'm working my tail off. I show them my work ethic. I show them that, hey, this is really important to me. This is like a vision, stump speech, elevator speech. Like this is something that you're gonna be doing a ton in your life, future jobs, future careers, when you're trying to raise money for a foundation or maybe your startup. Just know that like this skill set of goal sharing is really, really imperative. But I talk about how I'm working my tail off. I'm out before my parents. I'm back later than them. I'm working sun up to sundown. And I've never worked this hard at something in my entire life. And the reason why is because I want to go ahead and go after this All-American Scholarship contest. And I talk about why that's important to me. And I set a goal for myself, like when I sell 20K, then I will ... So instead of if, I want you to write down when I sell ... then I will ... So I know some of you on this call, you might be going after a scholarship this fall. So it's like, hey, when I sell $20,000 with the Cutco this fall, I will earn a scholarship. Then I will earn a scholarship. And it's really important that you share that with your customers because they know that you're working towards something. And you can also show them a thermometer of where you're at. As the push started for me, this was barely getting filled up. This was getting filled up more than this, just to share with you guys. And as I did more demos, like I'd have bigger sales and like this started shooting up. You guys noticed that this hit the top before these two did. I ended up completing, I think it was 56 presentations in that 17-day push period. And I collected about 270 referrals and I sold 21,656. And if you're doing demos in person, you can have your customers sign whenever they buy something. But if you're doing it virtually, you can make a slide and just put like all your customers that you sold to. And then just like, when you go to that list, you could say, oh, do you know anyone on this list? And it's really cool when I like when people saw these signatures, they're like, oh my gosh, you showed Cutco to the Schlotmans? Yeah, I did. And they got our basic set. Oh, you showed Lionel Sear? Oh my gosh. I was like, yeah, they got the basic set too. And I just talk about like, oh, you probably know Mr. Whitting. Yeah, they got the complete set. Miss Williams, gym teacher over at Revis. She got the galley set. Kim here, she bought a pair of shears. Laura here, she already had Cutco for 20 years. She bought another, a few other add-ons for her collection. Pam here, she bought a signature set, one of our family sets. And then I talk about each person that I know that they might know. Build up a lot of social proof. At this point, the customer's like, okay, wow, like this person is someone that I would love to support. They've built rapport with me. I like this person. I trust this person. And then I share my goals and they're like, wow, he's working towards something. I like him even more and I trust him even more. And my friends have bought from him. And then I show some testimonials. I don't do this like right away, but just to share this with you, I have a bunch of testimonials after I go over my goals. So I introduce Cutco a little bit and I talk about some of the testimonials of Cutco. And I literally have these very powerful testimonials from my own customers. From Kathy, very happy with Cutco, purchased, had them for 20 years. Kelly had it for 7 years. Cutco knives are the only knives you'll ever need. By the way, this is like, if I stopped the demo after the testimonials, I'd probably sell a bunch of Cutco, even without doing the demo, because everyone knew at least somebody here. Renee, I highly recommend Cutco knives. They're a great product. Maybe looking to add some more. Susan Gianetto, since 2007. I love my Cutco. Every time something new comes out, I have to get it. Jim, 3 years. Very good products. We enjoy using the knives, especially for cutting turkeys and beef. Magdalena, owned Cutco for 20 years. The best knives, would never buy anything else. And guys, this is more powerful than you saying, oh, we've been out for over 73 years. We have 20 million customers. Like, yeah, still do that, but this is supplemental. Christina Bull, guys, she was my 7th grade social studies teacher. I got recommended to her, and I talk about how I got recommended to her, because then they're like, oh, wow, Jacob only gets recommended to people. We're going to probably have to recommend him to some people. And they start thinking about that from the start. And I talk about how I got in touch with Ms. Bull. Ms. Bull was my favorite teacher in 7th grade. And I got recommended to her through my high school teachers. I did some presentations for my high school teachers. They recommended me to the superintendent at my high school. The superintendent recommended me to the superintendent at my junior high. Superintendent at my junior high recommended me to my NJHS sponsor. And then that NJHS sponsor recommended me to Christina. I was so excited to get her phone number because I knew she rememred me. I was a valedictorian over at my junior high. So it was just like instantly, she's like, yes, Jacob, like when can you come over? I'd love to catch up with you. I want to hear what's new in your life. And I found out that she's had her Cutco since 1996. Before I was freaking born, I was like, Ms. Bull, this is awesome. And she bought another $1,000 worth of Cutco, recommended me to 20 people. But check this out. I've owned Cutco since 1996. The knives are fabulous and never seem to dull. I would recommend Cutco to anyone. Ms. DeStefano, she's had it since 2004. I was like, write a testimonial. She wrote, Jacob is a very dynamic salesman. He impressed me with his vast knowledge of the product and friendly approach. I was like, Mr. Stefano, I need you to talk about the product, not me. She's like, okay, I've used and loved these knives for more than 10 years. Erica Nedza, since 2002, she had her Cutco. She had a homemaker upgrade her to a Siggy. I bought the set for our new home in 2002. I can't say enough good things about them. Customer service is wonderful. Guarantees the best out there. Patty, Jacob is most courteous and polite. Cutco tool knives are the best, 20 years. So this is also like get testimonials. If you're doing virtual demos, record a little Zoom clip. And here's the 3 questions I would ask. Number 1, how long have you had your Cutco? Number 2, if you're not writing these down, wake up. Number 1, how long have you had your Cutco? 2, what do you love about it? And literally those are like the main 2. How long have you had it? What do you love about it? If you want to ask an extra one, I would like to ask this one. Ms. Jones, if someone was on the fence about buying Cutco, what would you tell them? Oh, you got to buy them. It was always like something like that. But Amy Klein, since 2001, guys, Amy bought a homemaker set on her own without a rep. And I met Amy through my pledge brother, Ben. Ben's mom is the sister of Amy. She upgraded to an ultimate set. And then her sister upgraded to a Siggy. They upgraded me to people that I sold at least $20,000 worth of Cutco to. It was literally like Siggy upgrade, homie, Siggy. It was awesome. Yolanda Villanueva. This is one of the security, the police officers over at my high school. Yolanda. Oh, I remember Yolanda. Yolanda's Sebastian, you know Yolanda, Josh's aunt. I've never been disappointed with my Cutco blades. No job too small, cuts everything well. Jacob is very personal and displays great expertise. Guys, Kayla, oh my goodness. This is when I was a branch manager. I was calling service call leads, and Kayla, she was on the lead sheet, and I called her, and I told her I could sharpen her knives, and I was like, you're due for a sharpening. You've had them for a while. And I was like, I could come over Friday or Saturday. She's like, I'm busy Friday. Saturday is my birthday. I was like, I could come over on Saturday. I'll come in the morning before any of the festivities. What I did was I went to Aldi, got my pineapple, got my things. I was like, oh yeah, it's Kayla's birthday. So I bought her a bouquet of flowers, and I came to her house, sharpened all of her knives, gave her the bouquet of flowers. I said, happy birthday. She upgraded to an ultimate set. I was like, this is great. She also recommended me to 20 other people. I was creating a lead base in Champaign, and then I was set to do demos in Champaign. Kayla said, I love the quality of the knife and how great they perform and cut the food. Also, the designs are unique and the best that I've seen. Service is amazing. And I just learned that knives are guaranteed for life. That's amazing. Had them since 2011. Larry Williams, this is absolutely nuts. I just realized this. So Mr. Stefano here recommended me to Larry here. Larry is from Champaign. I sold Larry a pair of super shears in the service call. And then Sinan ended up getting recommended to Larry, and they bought a whole ultimate set from him. And then when Sinan was looking for a new place to stay and he didn't have a place to stay for a little bit, he reached out to Larry because they're like, yeah, whatever you need, Sinan, just reach out. And they let him stay at his house for like a few months. Larry let Sinan stay at his house for a few months, which was really cool. And just connecting the dots, I was like, wow, like that's mind blowing. But I have testimonials on testimonials. This is my dean. Like, that was awesome. But at this point, the customer's like, okay, my friends have the product. People love the product. Jacob's polite. He's got goals. He's working hard, and he cares about his family, cares about his parents, wants to graduate from school, has some big goals. Like at this point, they're like, all right, like instead of are we buying Cutco, it's what are we buying? And they're open to buy, like their credit cards out, their wallets out, like metaphorically saying. And I'm not saying that I do that just because I want them to be in that, mindset, but I do that because I feel like that's the best way to start the demo. And after I started the demo that way, they were more engaged. The kids were there. We had more fun. We cracked more jokes. I got more recs. And that led me to, getting a lot of recommendations as well, because that teed up this. This is the world's nicest people book. And this is where I got recommended to leads on leads on leads. If you guys want to get more recommendations, have a great start to your demo. Become someone that Mr. Jones and Miss Jones likes and trusts. And then you'll build up a list of leads that looks, something similar to this. And this is another 40, 50 sheets back here, another 30 sheets up front here. So, perfect timing, right? So as far as what that looks like, just to recap, as far as sharing your goals in your demo and your About Me page. For your About Me page, have some photos, school, hobbies, things that you're passionate about. Have a slideshow for your virtual demos. And then just also have thermometers, a demo thermometer, sales thermometer, and referrals thermometer. And when you have those three, then you can literally set a goal for what you want to do for each of those. And then you can increase that every single time you do a demo. I know sometimes I forgot, but I wanted to make sure I was bumping it up every single time. And yeah, just I also wanted to get some takeaways here. So I'm going to go and stop this recording just for those that wanted to watch it later. And then we'll go ahead and get some takeaways and some new ideas from you guys.